Hello, hi, I'm Cryptic Hybrid, and this is the Pale Beyond. Now, the Pale Beyond is a polar exploration game in which you will have to find a long-lost ship while also trying to survive the cold around the South Pole. Now, this is a demo version of the Pale Beyond. The full game is coming out later in 2022, but until then, we have a demo out, so we're gonna check it out together. Brace yourself, dress warm, and let's go. Oh, the airs be cold. A flake and white as a sailor begs their pledge. Begs their pledge. To the eyes they'll pray that leads reveal. I'll pray that leads reveal. Yes, to the eyes they'll pray that leads reveal. Some charted course ahead. Yes, let's be hopeful about all this. Of homes they'll dream, of warmth long lost and chased to frostworld's edge. A hunger draws the desperate here. It's one that can't be fed. What will we do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll lead these souls to help the gods out of the pale beyond. Temperance. Is this our ship? I hope not. Begin our journey. Because I don't want me at the bottom of the sea. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chances to return to safe return. That's great advertising. Glory to be had in the event of success. Alright. You're alone in the office. The tea in your hand has long since gone cold. It's adequate. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On a desk is a ship and a bottle. A metronome ticks away steadily. Harmless, insufferable. I find it calming. It's harmless. A simple reminder of time you've spent waiting. Yeah, right. The room is sweltering. The air stiff and stale. I guess we're waiting more. You hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought you here. Let's stay standing. The door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. Do you have all your teeth? My teeth? Let's open the mouth. You bare your teeth to the man. Good. Can never be too careful. The captain sits down. It's the little things you can lose people to. Are you speaking of it from experience, Captain? How many people have died under your supervision? I'd say none? None. Meaning you're either perfect for the job, a liar, or you've never been in command. Which is it? I mean, I've never been in command, let's say that, the latter. Really? Command tests a person's mettle. Do you think you're ready? Is anyone really ready, Captain? Some more than others, it would seem. Please, take a seat. Okay, let's sit down. The chair is uncomfortably large. The seat feels warm. Well, probably an old seat, right? I'm Captain Hunt. The pleasure is mine, Robin Shaw. That's me. He nods. Wait for him to continue. Let's not, we're interviewing here, right? I hope you weren't waiting too long. I'm told it's worth the wait. This job. Good. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad. Interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. Alright, let's keep listening. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chances of safe return. That didn't deter you, did it? Quite the opposite. It's why I'm here. For glory. A thirst for adventure then. He winks. I keep that to myself around the other sailors. They might drown you in it. Oh, really? I have a few questions first. He looks down at his list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or sea dog? Landborn. I'm from the city, saltborn, the ocean, the same as yourself. Mixed. I said mixed. If I knew I'd tell you. I've been all over. Muttwash. I don't know what that is. What muttwash is. A muttwash. Plenty of those joining. Myself included. Military experience? Colonial, royal, now. Merchant, sail the merchant lines, criminal, only evading them. Now let's say we've sailed a little bit. Merchant lines, 12 years. Very good. What did you trade in? Anything we get our hands on. Fruit mostly. I knew better than to ask. I mean, come on, it wasn't that so good. Let's say fruit. It was something, you know, harmless. Honest work. Have you ever fired a weapon? Let's say yes. Have you ever killed a man, directly or otherwise? No. You're not married, are you? Of course not. You better not have a death wish then. One must believe they'll return to justify leaving in the first place. Any less and you're doing yourself a disservice. We're here to find the ship in that bottle. The Viscount. Heard of it? No. Enlighten me. He clears his throat. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition towards the Dead Peninsula. They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. Viscount. Strange name for a ship. They can't all be named for dukes and princes. Viscount wasn't always hereditary. It was an earned title once. Admirals certainly loved their metaphors, almost as much as their medals. He trails off. Anyway, the point is she never came back. Her last known location was 200 miles south of land, presumed lost to the ice. And we're supposed to be chasing the ship? Exactly. Really? Well, 5 is a bit late for a rescue operation. Everyone's probably dead. Alive or not, their research is supposedly of extreme importance. Okay, let's let them continue. Here's what we know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since it first left port. Until now? Until now. Someone was found who claims to have been on that ship. Where are they now? Dead, but their testimony seems to have outlived them. Those with more money than sense won that old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, somebody else will, and, well, my judge of character has gotten me this far. What of our ship? We'll be traveling on board the Temperance. Oh no! Oh, not the ship that was on the bottom of the sea. Oh, this is gonna be bad. She's a beauty. Greenwood, generational. Not many like it left these days. The Viscount and the Temperance, they're sister ships. Built together. Sent out into this world to die alone. Huh. You seem to love metaphors yourself. Indeed. Perhaps that makes me a hypocrite. But I like to think one calls out for the other. Like the ships. The captain looks at the bottle ship. So, what do you think? When can I start? Huh. Not many are as eager as you. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. The captain stands up. We live in a month. Oh, okay. So I'm hired, I guess. Right? Welcome aboard, Shaw. Yeah. Great, Captain. Proverbially speaking. So I have the job? What do you think? I'll see you on the Temperance. The captain makes his way into to the door and you follow. You arrive at the docks a month to the day. Before you lies a ship, the letters on the side spelling Temperance. Approach Temperance. You walk the cobble to the boarding ramp. Beside is a sharply dressed man overseeing the loading of cargo. Speak to the man. He turns to you with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you, not asserting, assessing. That's something else. Mutwash. He's unable to place you. May I have your name? Robert Shaw. Or Robin Shaw. Well, let's say Robert. Anyway, Robin Shaw. Oh, of course. That will make you the captain's choice for first mate, correct? I'm Mr. Templeton. I shall be operating as the chief science officer on this expedition. I'm also the incumbent representative of our benefactor, so the person who's financing all this. Do, however, consider myself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. Well, Mr. Templeton, I look forward to working together. I expect you to be up for the task. Some of the layabouts Hunt hired are questionable at best. No doubt I needn't inform you of your duties. You're second only to Captain Hunt himself. Though I must warn you that you have quite the task ahead. The rabble, actually, I've spent the afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Punctuality, schedule, a strict adherence to what we need if this expedition is to succeed. I expect you to be the organized sort. You would not have been assigned the role otherwise. Right. I doubt there will be much issue. I'm playing it cool. We can only hope. But your role is more strenuous than it would first seem. Let me know when you're ready to depart. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. Alright. The city. You will be gone for quite a while. It will be some time before you see the city again. A young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up the ramp and onto the ship. Oh, great. Someone who's scared of leaving? That's not... the Temperance. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate. Near identical to the Viscount, barring some modern additions. Like the steam engine. Set sail. Off we go? Off we go. Week 1 of the Temperance. Now, there seems to be a bug that prevents from actually starting the game here. So, there we go. I don't know why it doesn't start here, so I just had to, because the game has phases, right? And this is just the next phase, the first week. All right. It's a bug of the demo. It's fine. All right. It's been a month. It's been 1 month since I signed on, and 1 week since we've set sail aboard the Temperance. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere before they turn colder. I've never been on a ship like this before. A technical marvel, elegant machinery expertly weaved through one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day. Reborn for this mission, breathing again with life, she's simply magnificent. Okay, I've just said that. Wait. Can I lower the volume? Jesus. Okay, sorry. It was very loud, the music. I don't know why. Alright. Sorry. Sign off. Who's paying for this? As for its master, he's mostly kept to his quarters so far. I need to know if I can trust Captain Hunt. He's not telling the whole truth. I can't shake the feeling that he's not telling the whole truth. But perhaps I'm too quick to judge. As for the rest of the crew, there are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew, the scouting team. Hunt is also keen to work out a deal on a pack of sledding dogs. I have sailed with worse in terms of the crew. We came across all kinds training with merchants, but rarely this split. I can't help but wonder who's footing the bill for all of this. Certainly not the captain. Such exquisite modifications to the ship mustn't have come cheap. I should investigate further, and I intend to. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Captain wants you at the helm. Alright, I'll head there now. It's not for me to ask, you know. He leaves. At the helm, right? Yes. Forecastle, Crow's Nest. The Crow's Nest currently stands unoccupied. The scouting team are expected to join at the next port. Okay, so let's go at the helm. You ascend the stairs to the stern and find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. Ah, Robin, lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. It's days like this I make sure to do my share of the sailing. One second, let me just lower the sound effect volume because that's also loud. All right. He winks. And I'm gonna let him continue because obviously he called me for something, so I'm just gonna let him speak on at his own pace, you know. He thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Did you ever take the helm of the merchant navy? Here, why don't you have a try? Okay, take the wheel. You grip the wheel of the ship and feel the weight of the waves in your arms. Use to pan around. Okay. The memory in your muscles rear themselves as you begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Easy. There, you have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now I'll try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. Alright. Peaceful, isn't it? Well, at this point, yeah. Panning and zooming speeds can be adjusted in the sending menu. Oh, that's fine. I like it like this. It's not too crazy. He takes the wheel back from you. I think I'll drink the morning in a little longer. Oh, I'll drink the morning in a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. Yes, Captain. What do we have to do? The tub, painting, the desk. Let's see the desk. On the desk you make out a variety of papers, notes and maps. As well as a sealed letter with a stamp you recognize as the mark of the Apperton Tinning Company. The desk itself is suspended with ropes to keep it safely in place. A classical painting depicting sailors doing battle with a kraken. An ode to an old folktale known to all captain. Seamus, I guess? Or was it Hamish? I don't remember. Or should I know? Alright, let's take the requests. You take a seat at the end of the room. The captain joins you. Now, let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls assigned onto the expedition, ourselves included. That's 16 free to be assigned to tasks and the rest deployed to their permanent stations. You're only able to deploy crew who you have discovered? They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to other posts. Alright. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at the next fort. Though a lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. The expedition will tear itself apart if you end this week with no... what? Decorum left. No decorum, okay. We have enough provisions for at least 6 months in case of emergency. Crew members will start to develop scurvy and be unable to work should you end the week with no food left in the hoosh spot. Hoosh spot? Okay. And more than enough fuel to see us there and back again. You will all freeze to death if you end the week with no fuel. Great. The sledding dogs, well, there's still a matter of negotiation. Dogs will need to send sledding teams out to gather resources on the ice. Now, on to the work. Okay, Corvid or Cordell? Let's see Corvid, because he seems more upset. Actually, they both seem upset. A sailor enters. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring them in. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway I've had. The captain studies them further. You know where we're heading, don't you? I do, sir. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside the crate? I did, sir. Huh. How old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true. I can pull my weight, sir. Do you know your jiboon from your bowsprit? What? Bowsprit? What? I do. I learned it all from my da. Your da? That's Ward's son. He's Ward's son. Follow him aboard back in the city. What? What should we do with him, Captain? Well, Shaw? Hunt eyes you up. Your first mate? What should we do with him? Let's keep him aboard. I'd keep them aboard. Hunt squints. Why? Let's see. He's clearly here because of his father. It would be wrong to separate them again. Alright, boy. Consider yourself part of the crew. Be sure to keep your nose clean and follow orders. I will. Thank you, sir. Captain, not sir. Aye, Captain. The stowaway joins the two sailors below deck, now a member of the crew. There we go. Well, it seems the litter has a new runt. I hope the rest won't mind sharing their rations. What of the father? What of the father? What of the father? Well, should he be punished for letting this happen? Another mouth to feed on the ice can be the difference between life and death. Let him be. I doubt he wanted his son here. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't want his son to go on a suicide mission, so... yeah. I suppose you're right. Maybe we'll make a sailor of him by the end of this. Well, that matter sorted. Alright. Cordell? Have you agreed upon my conditions? To the point, eh? Shaw, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with a kennel of hounds for the sleds. And our agreement was that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island, but... you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dogs to the Pale Passage. It's like... it's like... sorry. It's like... Passage? No, Passage, sorry. Why am I You know, going all French, I don't know. I had no intention of sending the pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for my whole kennel. It's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. And never before was a seller has made such strong demands. Lady Cordell? A moniker given to me by the locals of the city. On account of her vernacular. I found it odd that you seem to have researched me as much as you have my kennel. I like to know who I'm negotiating with. Regardless, Shaw. She demands we allow her to come along on the expedition. As a member of the crew. None on this ship had the experience and familiarity with these dogs that I possess. If you are taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them if they have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, Shaw. We've just accepted the stowaway. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? I don't see the harm in having an expert on the sled dogs. A good point, Shaw. Maybe I should have put the other stowaway out on the... Yeah, but then... I don't know, we'll see. There's gonna be problems. He turns to her. This deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with extensive training in the management and ruling of dogs? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs efficiently enough to haul them. And I would like to ensure my dogs are treated properly. Well, welcome aboard, Cordell. Your knowledge should prove valuable. Invaluable. I'll have the room prepared for you below deck. No need. You'll find me in the forecastle with the dogs. She leaves. I hope I'm not making a mistake, Shaw. Alright, 14 available dogs, but also an extra crew member, so more food. Alright. Now that's all settled, I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me up at the deck after dinner? Hefty lads, red hair, you couldn't miss them for another. The Stoke brothers? Who are they? You haven't met all the crew yet? The Stokes have been serving me for years. They'll be down at the middle deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. Right. Well, I guess that was it. Thank you, Captain. How do I find the manifest? Wait. This is again the... Oh, never mind, it's fine. Can I save? No. Forecastle, but no. Can I talk to anyone? No. So where's the crew? Wait, let's see here. The forecastle door appears to be locked. You can hear the kennel master preparing the room inside. Oh, okay. Join the figure balancing on the mast. Oh! Upon closer inspection, you make out the ship's photographer, Kasha Belford, balanced on the ship's mast with her camera lining up a photo. Wait for her to finish. Let's, you know, she's working. Hello? Oh, snapping a shot, she clambers down, only noticing you on her landing. Oh, Officer Shaw. It's about time I met the first officer of the ship. Kasha Belford. Nice to meet you, Kasha. I suppose there was some sort of rule against what I was doing. Deepest apologies, but sometimes there's a shot you just cannot pass up. An accomplished photographer, Kasha Belford won the Fendler Prize, the highest honor in journalism, for her work covering plague outbreaks and riots in the capital. It came as a surprise to many that such a reputable journalist would take such an interest in this expedition. There was scarcely any chance of Hunt or the benefactor turning her away. You expected someone of her accolades to be older, more experienced. This is likely her first time on the sea like this. Her accomplishments certainly outweigh her youth. Experience is a matter of interest, but her accolades speak for themselves. The cold game. Picture that as a header. Cold game? Okay. Let her continue. For the piece on this voyage, I'm trying to come up with a snappy name. Nobody will read it if the title sounds like the work of an amateur. The cold game. I'm not a creative type. I'm sure you'd know better. Kasha tilts her head and grits her teeth, holding an inner debate herself. Maybe not. How about the Hunt's Incredible Voyage? Too fantastical? I suppose I'll find the right name when the time comes. I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? Apologies, I'm just a little excited. I've never been on a voyage like this. Great. I suppose in your experience the open ocean is the home of the mundane. Though I suppose you never traveled this far south on the merchant lines. I'm not adverse to thrills. I've seen some things. Well, I hope we have some coming this way. I'm hoping to capture something right out of Kurt Darling's old escapades. Kurt Darling's old escapades? Okay. That reminds me, he'll be joining us at the next port. I should get his picture at some point. Kasha holds up her camera with a sense of pride before holding it up to her face. Stand still, Shaw. And that was the first and last picture of Robin Shaw. Captain sent me to grab a copy of the manifest. Oh, yes, I'm putting together a manifest of the crew for you. She hands you an annotated document. Here it is, the crew manifest. Oh, thank you. Okay, so scouts, engineers, scientists, specialists, resource cards, and key items. Grimley's accordion, weather instrument tuned with care. Okay, so we know 3 of them. Sailor Eye Savvy. Oh, there's okay. Okay. Sailors. Specialists. Oh, that's me! That's me. Alright. It's a work in progress. The scouting are to join us at the next port, and the captain's forbidden me from the lower deck. If you could ask the others to get their port taken, I'd be very grateful. Don't want to leave anyone out. I'll see what I can do. I'll not disturb you from your work any further, officer. I have a few more shots I want to get before the sun lowers anyhow. Safe shots, officer. Don't worry. You leave her to her work. Alright, the 2 Johns. Okay. You spot a large man with a youthful gait, carrying a heavy crate over his shoulder with relative ease. Oh, you're Officer Shaw. He gives a bright, warming smile. 2 Johns. That's what they call me. I'm sure you'll get the nickname later. 2 Johns attempts to offer a handshake but loses control of the crate. He struggles before firmly holding it in place with both hands. Maybe later. Work awaits. Okay. So we found another one. John? 2 Johns. John. Oh, John. Okay. Sailor Saltborn. Okay. Descend below deck. Alright, can I zoom in out? Yes, I can. Middle? Alright, what we have here? Approach the cook. Let's approach the cook first. You find yourself almost knocking over a man carrying a heavy pot. Careful, careful! You almost got drenched in broth. You're the ship's cook, aren't you not? Indeed I am, and I've got a full plate on my hands, pardon the pun. You hear a roar from the other side of the door. Oi, what's holding you up? The cook shakes his head with a smile and chuckles slightly to himself. He grabs a large pot and prepares to make his way to the hungry crew before turning his head to you. If you don't mind, Could you carry that tray of biscuits behind me? Yeah, sure. Carry the tray. You grab the plate and follow the cook out the door and to the table where the crew are waiting with bated breath. Upon the cook's arrival, the sailors let out a rowdy cheer, the ship's cook placing the broth upon the table. Trust me, fellows, this one is worth the wait. The cook speaks with a tone of pride as he ladles the broth into the bowls of the crew. Oi, one at a time, you animals. Ward, you're awfully handsy with only one arm. Ah, piss off, Junior. Get some bread here too. Grab it fast before Tucker beats you to it. The crew laughs and are merry as Junior guides you back to the kitchen. We weren't properly introduced. Robin Shaw, right? I've been keeping track of all the new crew. Bjorn Stokes, but nobody calls me that. You'll hear them call me Junior. You should do the same. No idea why Hunt picked someone he's never worked with as a first mate. Yes, I'm actually surprised by that as well. So yeah, I share your concern. Well, Hunt wished to see you as soon as possible. Ah, yes, good old Hunt. Never rests on this ship, let me tell you. Especially when Hunt takes a liking to you. Okay. Call the crew for dinner. Is there anything else I can do? I guess not. So let's call the crew for dinner. The crew have their meal. It passes in relative silence. Yeah, relative silence. You can hear the accordion, you can hear them, eating. It's not exactly silence. The crew return to their post. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Twilight falls. Okay, let's see here. The dinner table. That must be Ward and his son. Over dinner, one overheard the newly picked up stowaway speaking with a one-man arm. The one-armed man, not one. Jesus Christ. This game has really... My mind is somewhere else, and by somewhere else I mean at the bottom of the sea with where the temperance lies. Jesus Christ. I want to die in this game. I don't want to die. But you're lucky Hunt didn't throw you overboard. Half a mind to do that myself. Come on, Da. I'm here to help. Better know that involves work. Don't expect special treatment. I won't. You're an impossible child, Timmy. Doug Ward. Okay, added to the manifest. Okay. So we got some points apparently? Or something? We just know more people. Sailor, amputee, saltborn. So okay, so in terms of the sailors, Ice savvy. These are saltborn, so they're sailors through and through. At least 3 of them. Let's see, specialists. We have Junior. All right, let's go up. What's this? Mr. Gloss. Oh, Mr. Gloss again. Let's see him. Actually, wait. Let's go up. Oh, Templeton. Okay. Actually, I don't know Mr. Gloss, so let's meet him. You spot one of Templeton's science team pacing around the middeck, searching through some luggage that has been pulled from a cabin. Let me look in the light. Where was it now? He notices you. Ah, Officer Shaw, correct? Dwight Glossley. Glossley. Apologies, I seem to have misplaced something while settling in the cabin. A bottle of wine, actually. Can't be hard to miss. It will turn up eventually. I would hope so. My wife and I brought a bottle to celebrate with. To be saved for the journey back, of course. Well, if you find it, please let me know. Oh, sure. I guess I'm supposed to look for bottles now. Oh, that's a small... Hey, you know what? It's cozy. I like it. My place. What's this? The ocean. As you look over the railing of the ocean, a wisp of smoke flies past your face. You turn to examine and spot a sailor with a pipe in his mouth and a sheet of paper in his hand overlooking the stirring waters. Looking for something? Not many sailors can read or write. What's the letter? A letter. All you need to know. Tashi. After introducing himself, Tashi falls silent and begins to read the letter. Trying to draw conversation with him may be similar to extracting teeth. Wait, what? What's his name? Verdi? Wait. Werner? Where is he? He's a... What is he? A sailor? Yeah. Vern... Tashi Sheridan. Vern. Come on. His name is Vern. Anyway. It's funny. Alright. Let me just check if there's anything else around. No. So nothing else to interact. Okay, no one else to interact with. Just Templeton. You spot Templeton looking out into the sunset. As you approach, he turns to you and nods. Ah, Officer Shaw. It will be some time before we see a sunset such as this again. The light distribution towards the South Pole is quite the change. I noticed you weren't at dinner with the others. I prefer to eat in solitude. I have my own cabin and I make use of it. Templeton keeps his focus on the reflection of the setting sun over the stirring waters of the ocean. There is a great expectation upon us, officer. Are you feeling the pressure, Mr. Templeton? I cannot afford to. We all have to keep our focus. Templeton looks down, catching his reflection in the ocean surface. He looks back up at the sunset. Quite the sight, but I wouldn't linger upon it too long. We should retire for the evening. It's important the first officer be well rested. Alright, use E to advance to the next week. Alright. Oh. E, there we go. Hopefully the game's not gonna... Okay. The food rations per crew member this week. Okay. Okay. Confirm rations. Wait, 1 per week? Half. I mean, I don't want him to get scurvy. The fuel spent. That's a lot of food, by the way. Okay, let's give them half rations. The ship makes its last port at Wasteland Island. Cordell's sledding dogs are picked up. The scouting crew and Kurt Darling are picked up. The days are getting brighter as you move further south. Okay. Week 2. Week 2 on the Temperance. Let me just make sure that the game is not screwing up the audio again. Come in. The door swings open to reveal Kurt Darling, all but filling its frame, grinning ear to ear. Here you are, Officer Shaw. The ship's navigator is a difficult man to miss. Stature and reputation precede him. Adorned with a slew of apparatus, this seemingly one-man expedition would be known to everyone following the heyday of exploration. All the merchandising that followed. It's an honor. It's an honor, really. A wealth of invaluable experience in such hostile environments. A wonder he's not been swept up by some other post. Oh. Hiding away from the rest of us, are you? Are you always this early to rise? These days I tend to enjoy a good lion, but not during an expedition. You know what they say, as early birds and worms? Of early birds and worms, yes. The early bird catches the worm. Apologies for not stopping by sooner, Shaw. It took a while to set up my team, and a great deal of the crew were quite eager to meet me. That's right, you're something of a celebrity, aren't you? I take that to mean you haven't heard of me before? Well, that's a pleasant surprise. There aren't many who haven't seen my films, particularly in this line of work. More than one fellow on this crew said my work inspired them to explore the world. Quite the honor, is it not? Hmm. I'm certain you receive that praise often, though. Not as often as you would think. I suppose I did get distracted, didn't I? Anyway, I was hoping you'd join me up on deck. Of course, but why? We finally entered the pack. I thought you want to see it for yourself. I'm right behind you, Kurt. Kurt turns to walk away before turning back. Oh, and enjoy your morning. It's a good day, Shaw. Arr. Huh. He leaves. Alright. He was added to the manifest and he should be specialist? Isn't he a specialist? No, he's a no. Wait. Where is he? Scientists. Wait, what the hell? I'm not seeing him. Huh. Odd. Alright. Let's see. Mrs. Gloss. You note one of the science team returning to their room. Ah, Mrs. Gloss. Did you have a good rest? She nods to you. Hello. I don't expect May to be up this early. Oh, sorry. Harriet, sorry, that's her speaking. Harriet Glossley. Were you just above deck? Yes, I'd risen a brief while ago. I believe a walk around the ship would help acclimate myself to the waves. Perhaps it will take some more time. With that, Mrs. Gloss makes her way back to her cabin. A science team aren't used to the sea, or the sailor folk. Quite a culture clash, isn't it? Well, I'm sure they'll grow used to it over time. Okay. Mid-deck. Hammocks. Okay, they're sleeping. Maybe I shouldn't wake them up. Doctor's office. The doctor's office remains locked. Seems the good doctor isn't in. Or perhaps enjoying his sleep. You are yet to come across the ship's doctor, even after all this time. Well, that's not good. I mean, I'm the first mate. I should know, everyone pretty much at this point, right? Anyway. Alright, let's go up. Whoa, that's a change. That's quite the change, isn't it? Icy. Alright, let's see. Oh, look, maybe I can speak to the captain? Wait. I kinda like this one. I can make a thumbnail out of it. Alright, let's go. And speak to the captain first. Oh, not the captain. At the stern, you notice an old sailor at the helm. The old man takes in a deep breath in the cold. Takes in a deep breath in the cold air before letting out a satisfied exhale. Morning, and a good morning to you. He eyes you up. Officer Shaw, right? Lefty. Call me that on account of, well, should be obvious. He chuckles. Don't worry about the bad sight. This is all feel. Just keeping her steady. He examines you. Surprise hunt picked from outside for his first mate. I'm surprised as well. Wait, what the hell? Why is it so... Okay. Doesn't feel loud. Anyway. Wait. Maybe. I'm surprised as well. He seems the insular type. He is. You must be something special for Hunt to look outside the ranks. Maybe. You got the experience at least. Merchant Navy is quieter though. Mornings like these are about the only peace I get from the younger lot. You should take these moments in when you can. Lefty returns his attention to the helm. As you get older, I suppose you learn to value the quiet moments, huh? Let us hope we're just as diligent when we're old and grey. Myself before you, of course. Alright. You're funny. You join Kurt at the bow of the ship. You both feel the temperance break the floes before you. Rippling the rails, he draws an enormous breath. The footing beneath rises as the ship mounts an impending ice flow. There's a moment's hesitation before a profound crack relieves the ship, cascading across the ice. He exhales. See? Nothing else like it. You weren't wrong. It's something alright. Look at the ice. No two cracks are the same. Did you just want to show me the ice? Or is there something you want to discuss? We're about a week's sail from the last known location of the old Viscount. Assuming she isn't exactly where they left her, we can't take smooth sailing for granted. Same goes for this daylight. It won't remain this bright for long once winter encroaches. Beautiful as the ice is, on the course it's going to get thicker. He looks out across the white. We won't be so confident when the leads dry up and we're stuck here till the next cycle. We need to change course. Avoid the pack. Have you informed Captain Hunt? He won't listen to me. Thinks I've been dulled by retirement. I've probably seen more eyes than he has whiskies. It's not my decision though. Yes, but you have the captain's ear. Have you ever experienced the long night winter? It's not pleasant to say the least. I can't say I have. Well, we're only as good as the unhappiest man, Robin. Huh. I'll do what I can. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Kurt nods and turns back to look across the ice. Okay, so we should speak to the captain then. Let me see, anyone else around? Okay, no, everyone's sleeping. Let's convince the captain to take a detour, I guess. Wait. Oh, requests, okay. It's request time. Ah, sure. Ready for another day's work? Did you hear Kurt's advice? He wants us to switch course. Aye. He had a few words to share. He may have been an expert in his time, but these days Kurt is one with more money than sense. Anyway, back to work. I was hoping you'd work me through a few more requests from the crew. You may have noticed the line pulling up outside. Everyone wants something, it seems. Call him right in as you please. Alright, Hammond, Kasha or Core? Okay, well, let's go for Kasha first. Captain, Shaw? A thought occurred to me the other day while looking through the crew manifest and, well, it might be too late for this now that we've already entered the ice. Out with it. I thought it would be good to have individual photos of the full crew. For your report? Not only for my report, it would be a good reference for the manifest. Put faces on the names. Much of this crew have served me for years, some decades. I have little problem putting faces to the names. Your thoughts, Shaw? I mean, it seems a good idea. If nothing else, it would make a good souvenir. Yeah, it's a bit late. Yeah, make a good souvenir, why not? Sentimental of this expedition, are you? Oh, we got one decorum! Aww, that's good. Some proper photographs will have some historical weight to it. Well, Belford, I see no problem there. I'll arrange for the pictures to be taken before the crew have their dinner. Thank you, Captain. In the meantime, I'll attempt to get as many individual crew photos as I can. You're still welcome to help on that man, Officer Shaw. She departs, satisfied. Well, yeah. I mean, I already have some pictures, so... or do they not count? Let's see Corvid, because I don't know Hammond, so... Corvid enters the office. Hunt, you asked for a report on how the stowaway was doing? Aye, I want to see if the young boy has been settling in well. He has indeed. It means another mouth to feed, but the boy works hard and doesn't ask much. He has his dad to guide him as well. I'm sure the boy's father is ecstatic. Well, worried sick, but happy, aye. Huh? What do you know, Shaw? Perhaps we were right to keep the boy aboard. She leaves. Wait, that was a she? Sorry, I did not know that. Sorry. Like... Corbin is a she? Alright. A short, sour-faced man in engineer clothing approaches. Are you acting draft hunt? Not with intention. Not bloody surprised you didn't notice. Sure, this is our chief engineer, Clive Hammond. An opinionated one. What is it, Hammond? We hit the ice and you haven't assigned any extra men down to the boiler. You have your engineering team? And we're only got 6 ons between us. I need more manpower maintaining this. Sailors! Many of the crew have their own tasks they're busy with. I know I already assigned Smurf on the matter. The captain turns to you. How many do you think is fair? 1? 3? More. Open the crew manifest to choose how many sailors you wish to assign. Okay, so he wants more than 3? Okay, we only have 9 people, but we do have 1 extra technically, so... Max cards allowed 4. Okay, so let's... I can't assign scientists, or right? Like specialists, so let's sailors, right? Let's go for... not Doug, because he has just 1 hand. Let's go for John. Emilia. Oh, sorry. Okay. Lefty. And actually, you know what? And him. Yeah, these 4. You can take Tashi, 2 Johns, Runt, and Lefty. You're giving me the bloody stowaway? You rather have none? The engineer holds his tongue. Fine. But you can tell me right now... wait, but you can tell me how right I was when they're buried under the ice. When we're buried under the ice. I mean, you still have more crew. That's what you asked for, so... A good spirit, that one. Beneath the oil and the temper, of course. You won't be seeing much of him, though. Prefers to burrow himself into the boiler room. Alright. Good to have all that settled then. Perhaps we shouldn't rule out old Kurt so easily. If the man thinks there could be an alternate path through the ice, he's free to search for it. Shaw, meet with him when you have time. Changing course or not, we'll want one of his scouts set up in the crow's nest. Take care of that, then you'll be done for the day. Alright, cool. Let's vote. It's almost been like an hour of playing. That's a lot. Alright, let's see. Approach the sick young man. What? Seasick. You spot a youthful looking man leaning over the side of the ship, his head slumped as he looks into the icy pool below. It appears he's been visited by a spot of seasickness. Are you okay? You speak out and the sickly man doesn't answer. He raises his hand and turns to spot you, his eyes widening in shock as he does. A bespectacled young man, shaking with unease. He stares at you for a brief moment, a look of shame plastered upon his face. Is he sorry? Are you alright? Yes. Well, not really. I'm very sorry. The man turns around and hurriedly runs in the opposite direction, avoiding your gaze. Arthur Nutley. Okay. Great. Nutley. Alright. Or this one. This is a nicer... yeah. Alright, let's see. Who should we go for? The rigging. While examining the rigging of the ship, your eyes notice a figure darting by, climbing on the ropes with ease. The figure lands on their feet before dusting themselves off. Their outfit denotes one of Kurt's scouting crew. No problems. She looks to you. And you are? Officer Shaw. Yourself? Flick, I'm one of Kurt's crew. Don't worry about my safety. I know what I'm doing, trust me. Kurt doesn't just hire anyone. Well, he didn't hire me for no reason. Got the medals in gymnastics if you're worried about my credentials. Flick jumps up and returns to scaling the rigging of the ship. Okay. Okay, let's speak to the navigator. Right. Send me up there, I'll get you reading. The scientist eyes the man's cane and turns to you. I believe the navigator means you to send one of his scouts. The navigator clears his throat and taps his cane. Of course, if you find one of mine, they'll get us a reading rightly. Okay. Let's talk to... There we go. Yes. The scout, yeah. Because that's what we need, right? Flick. There we go. Confirm your orders. They ascend to the nest and take a reading with the sextant. All clear from up top. Whoa. Okay. So we're here. Oh no, that's the island. Return. Whoa, that's a nice map. Viscount Island. The last known location of the Viscount. Or a Viscount. Why did I say Viscount? Viscount. It's a Viscount, your destination. Sorry for messing it up this whole time. Viscount. Okay. So we have a map at least. Let's go down. Let's see what else we have. You overhear two of the newly arrived scouting crew talking. Hi, Quilzy. Have you trouble settling in? Not too bad. I can't wait for a chance to sleep though. A proper navigator never rests until their work is done. Of course, of course. I take it you had no issue settling in? Not at all. The crew are a fun lot. Old Kurt only caught their attention. Heh. You think any of them would mistake Kurt and myself? I think you'd collapse from joy if they did. Heh, perhaps. Okay, okay, two available crew, alright. Descend, let's see what we have. Pantry, pumps. Nothing in the pumps. Pantry. Tinned food. Oh, you left a crate of tins from the shelves. Why? Did I just steal some food from people? You spot a suspicious looking sailor emerge from the pantry. The hooded sailor spots you, keeping their hands firmly in their pockets. Now what looks like, Officer Shaw? Plick, but call me gnomes. I'm not thieving anything. Okay. You'd best have a good explanation then. I have a perfectly good explanation. No worries, I was just setting up a practical joke. And what is this practical joke? Not going to spoil the surprise. It's not at your expense, if that's your concern. Have to get some enjoyment around here, don't you think? With their mysterious trap set, Gnome scurries off to the upper deck to return to work. Alright. Let's approach the accordionist. He spots you and seizes in his playing. Need something? Your brother sent me to speak with you. Junior? Ah, you're sure? Junior mentioned you. And it was good to meet you, Grimsley. Grimly, not Grimsley, Grimly. Grimly just grunts in response. Wanted us to meet, did he? Well, we've met now. Won't keep you from your work. Don't keep me from my break. Oh, alright. Okay. Anything else up here? Map. Alright. I don't know how long this demo is, but it's quite beefy, huh? Ah, one step ahead of me. If you add those tins to the hush, we should be good for dinner. What will be today, Shaw? Feed the hushbot. Okay. Sealed sustenance. Wait. Oh, it lowers the. I mean, it's tinned food. Whatever. It's good, right? Plus 25. Okay. Min cards allowed 10. Okay. So I got this one, right? It just lowers. You know, people won't like canned food, but you know what? It's food. So shut up. Alright, leave. Pantry. Call the crew for dinner. The crew have their meal. Shall we toast to the ice? Aye. The days are long, but dinner is fixed. It will see us through the long days and the darkest nights. Huh, right. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. You can't help but notice that it's still bright light outside. Yeah. You notice two sailors passing by from the dinner table. An inebriated sailor on wobbling legs leaning on the shoulder of another. Ah, good times, good times. Need to learn to handle your drink, Tucker. I'm fine. My mates can carry me, eh, Cavity? They can also drop you. Have two Johns carrying you next time. Sorry, that's... Are you asleep? Shit. Huh. Great. We have a drunkard on board. That's just what I need. Door. You knock on the door. No response. Okay. Let's listen. You overhear two engineers chatting above deck. Or rather, you overhear one engineer speaking with another. Don't you know how the chief could stay down? Don't know how the chief could stay down there all evening. You've ever seen Mr. Hammond eat? I haven't. Maybe he doesn't even eat. Man's not human if he can work all day and night on that boiler. Probably doesn't sleep either. He probably sleeps. Aye, it's figuratively. Yeah, right. Huh, well, at least we met two more crew members. Two engineers, Garrett Grips Four-Setter, and Ricky Dick Vlogs. Okay, we're still missing... Are we missing anyone? Yes, we're missing one scientist. One specialist. Okay. Well. Enter the forecastle. Aww, doggies! The dogs regard her with rampant attention as she paces between them, ball in hand. The largest joins her side as you approach. Try some. Try the soup. What is it? Caviar and rose petals. Try the soup. You nearly burn your mouth on the hot broth. Surprisingly tasty. You feel yourself warming up. Aw, you seem to enjoy it. I'm afraid there is only so much. If you want more, it'll be among the dog's leftovers. Penguin, some blubber, fat and proteins, fastest way to hydrate them. Was there something you need? Where did they come from? It's hard to tell the exact breeds at this point. They belong here more than we do. Unlike us, they need the ice. It cools them to their paws as they run. They'd overheat otherwise. Who's that beside you? This is Stanberry. Stanberry? Aww. You've been on the ice for a long time. A long time, yes. Strong animal. Very. They handle stress differently, adapt quickly. There's plenty to be learned from them. You love these animals. They need me. And you'll need them. Pet Stanberry. You ruffle its head. It tries to lick the broth from your fingers. That's cute. That is cute, but I guess we must finish up now. Okay. Yeah, let's finish. Enter the cabin. Finish another week. Alright, the food rations. I'm gonna go for 1. And fuel rations. I mean, it's not that cold, so... You know. Half for now. Another week passes. The temperature has finally entered the thick ice leads. The days grow even brighter. Alright, start the next week. Week 3. Oh, week 3. Alright. Morning. No one here. Let's go mid-deck. Yeah, everyone's sleeping. Oh, hello! Look at that. I like the cracking. There we go, it's nice. Alright, let's see now. Oh, we have to talk to the captain. Let's play like this morning more. That's, you know, see how it goes. Wait, can I check the map? No, I can't check the map. I don't know why I can't check the map. Okay, let's take the requests. Captain Hunt appears to be absent. His chair is unoccupied. Let's wait for the captain. The whole room shudders. Whoa! Shit, we're stuck. Wait, let me check the map real quick. Wait, where the hell are we? We don't know? We're around here somewhere. Ah, shit. 1 second. 1 second, I have to leave take my door off. What? I have crew to manage as well here in my room. Not only on the ship, and also in this room. Alright, let's go back. Sorry. Jesus, this is a long one. I like it though. What in the... Well, I was worried about this. Look at that ice. We could be trapped for a while. Strong pressures. As if we didn't have enough bother. Well, no need mucking around. Let's get to work. Where's Hunt? I'll grab him. I'm sure he felt it too. Shaw, check the boiler room. I'm sure the Moment has problems of his own. Not to worry, everyone. We'll be free and moving again before you know it. Back to work. Well, great. Let's go below deck. Kasha. Officer Shaw, what happened? Ship's come to a stop. I almost flung my camera into the wall. We didn't hit anything, did we? We've trapped in some ice. We'll need to break loose to get moving again. Well, let's hope we can do this sooner rather than later. Trapped in this ice, though, that would make for a good photograph. Sure, why not? Mid-deck. Okay. Lower deck. Grimly. Ship stuck, eh? If you're looking for Hunt, you just missed him. Have you checked the boiler room? Not yet. Hammond's probably pissed off, I imagine. I'm going to check with my brother. Okay. I'd make errors, and if I made made errors, I tell you, it's secure. Don't you worry. Oh, that's really loud. The freaking boiler room. Okay, keep it like this. All right. They notice you. I'm sure you're aware of the situation. What's happening? I'm ensuring that the boiler was not damaged in the sudden commotion. And I told you that if it was, you'd already know. I'm not in the business of making mistakes. I know that if the furnace goes, we go down with it. Yes, but you're only one man, with just a pair of engineers as assistants. Just looking at the number of valves, this seems far too much for you to handle. Maybe your bloody benefactor should have considered that then. I've gotten used to it by now. It will hold, trust me. I will, well, I will have to, won't I? I don't fancy staying on this ship any longer than necessary. It's imperative we break free from the ice as quickly as possible. Hammond eyes you, a grimace on his face. First mate's here, but where's the one who got us into this bloody mess? I was hoping that Templeton knew. I was informed by one of the Stokes that I had just missed him, but I have suspicion as to where he may be now. We're on a ship, an unmoving one at that. The man cannot simply disappear. If he's anywhere, he must be in his cabin. When you find a man, give him an earful on my behalf. Can't do it myself, too busy keeping us alive. Templeton gives a nod. I believe you, and I both owe our great captain a visit, Shaw. And wait, I believe you and I both owe our good Captain Visit, Shaw. Now before we fed this furnace, mind grabbing some coal from the bunker, Shaw? Or are you too afraid of dirty hands like Mr. Templeton over there? No, I'm not. I'll get some coal. I'm not afraid. Get some coal. Okay. There we go. Coal goes in, we stay alive. Really that simple. Alright. Feed the furnace. Okay. And then leave. Alright, so we have to look for the captain. Where the hell is the captain? You much mid-deck to find the crew raiding themselves for... Okay, sure, but... I need to find... Wait. Should we find... Why is it so loud? Jesus Christ. Frickin' singing in the middle, like we're stuck! And they're singing. Call the crew for dinner. Is it dinner time? I have to find the captain first! Okay. Okay. What's over here? You didn't see him either? He didn't pass by, but his cabin door was locked when I checked. Slippery bastard. What are you thinking, Hunt? They can't find the captain, that's great. No sign of Hunt, I take it? Mr. Templeton passed by, but he wasn't exactly willing to take questions. No. No. Keep it up, lads. We'll set ourselves right in no time. Ah, Shaw. I just saw Templeton entering the captain's cabin. Seems Hunt holed himself up inside. Maybe if you had a word with our good captain, he'd be willing to lend a hand. Okay, we're definitely stuck now. That's not good. Where's the captain? Oh shit. Oh, don't tell me he's dead. I was informed that he was here. Where could he have hidden himself? He has to be in here. Check under his desk. I highly doubt he's cowering beneath the table, Shaw. What? Oh, Jesus Christ, he was just drunk. Oh, I thought he was dead. The captain's laugh rings out from behind the door. The captain watches you both, his head swaying as he chuckles to himself. You're a surprisingly difficult man to get hold of, Hunt. Seeing that this is your ship. I know it well. Hunt's eyes turn to you. I believe you two are already acquainted. How long have you been drinking? Sorry, that was Templeton. I don't suppose you care to join? Hunt shakes the whiskey bottle as he holds it out, the liquor sloshing and spilling from the top. And what of you, Shaw? I can't tempt you with some sweet nectar? I don't drink. And you don't care for to humor me at this once? Well, your loss. You intend to offer drinks at a time like this? This ship, your ship, is trapped in the ice. It's my ship now, is it? And what do you expect me to do? Get the shovels out? Well, well, what do you mean this isn't your ship? Bought at an auction. Not by myself. Imagine that, captain of a private vessel and I don't even own it. Pathetic. Mr. Hunt? Captain? If you are not fit to stand, then you should retire for the night. Shaw shall stand in your stead, and we can continue in the morning. And abandon my duty? No captain who would do that is a fit captain, wouldn't you agree? Well... Not you. Shaw, isn't that right? What do you think makes for a good leader? Sobriety for a start, yes. Sobriety for a start, yes. He sips at his drink. But I'm serious, Shaw. To you, what makes a good leader? We don't have the time for... In a word, then. What makes a leader? Understanding, control, or willpower. I mean, control, I guess, because a leader leads, so he has to. I mean, willpower, I guess. Also, no, not no, because it wouldn't be understanding this. It would be like, it would be vision. You know, I'm gonna say willpower because maybe that's gonna, get us through the hard, winter days and nights. Willpower? Explain. The power to make decisions. No, the ability to press forward no matter the circumstances. To never give up. That's it. Yes. Never give up, never surrender. And if your crew submits before you do, I don't think they appreciate being pushed forward in a hopeless situation. You can look to someone always pressing on against all odds and call that bravery. Others will call it fatal stubbornness. If one's to die, they'd prefer it be with their boots off, lying in bed with a full belly. Would a good leader deny them that? Speaking in platitudes would do you no good. A good leader is something more than a single rule you were told to follow. When you see one, you just know. You have wasted enough time pining philosophical. Oh, my apologies. I'll ask the real question then. Sure, look at where we are. Do you honestly think we're going to survive this? I have no doubts we will. Well, I suppose someone has to carry fate with them. The captain laughs. Sure, nobody knows we're out here. That doesn't leave this room. No. Wouldn't want to surprise your employer. Our benefactor. We all want to be paid after this, don't we? Enough! If you weren't fit to lead this expedition, you should not have agreed to it. You shouldn't be... None of us should be here. Old Kurt paid handsomely to join. You're just a botanist sent to keep an eye on me, our doctor. And then there's me. What of you? Hunt laughs to himself, his head dropping low. Temperton opens the door. The captain needs his rest. We'll discuss this once he's of sound mind. Let him speak, Templeton. I wish to know more. It's alright, Robin. What? No! What? Go on now, Shaw. I'll be alright here. What? I don't even get answers? Captain Hunt needs his sleep. It would appear the pressures of command have greatly affected him. You should find some rest yourself. The crew have their commands. Clear your head, and we will continue on the morn. Son of a bitch. Okay, that's not gonna help at all. Alright, let's wait for the morning. Who knows what surprise we're gonna have next. Shit. Ah, crap. Night, great. You awake to a room awash with green. There's a loud banging on your door and a familiar voice speaks from behind the wood. Shaw, are you in there? Shaw! Hammond, what's going on? Why is everything green? Never mind the green. The boiler's in serious trouble. Pumps need man and we need to stop the whole system overheating. And I don't need to tell you if the furnace goes, we go. Okay. Lead away then. We don't have a moment to spare. Alright, let's move. We need to find the captain now. Okay. What the hell? Kasha rushes up, holding her camera tight as the ship rumbles. What's happening? Are we going under? Not if we can help it. Out of the way! It's safe to go up top, right? That aurora, it's a shot I can't miss. Kasha steps back before snapping a photograph of the ensuing chaos. Great. Oh shit! The light of the aurora flickers over the pale ice. Fuck. Oh come on, where is he now? Nothing. Visibly perturbed, he takes a moment to compose himself. Even the tub is empty. Why we expect him to be in the tub? Not important. This doesn't make sense. The man seemed barely fit to crawl himself into bed earlier. What? Hammond turns to you. Alright, Shaw. Captain's missing. You're in charge. I'll try my best. Your best? Yes, indeed. The crew are no doubt waking at this moment. They're no doubt scared, confused. It's your duty to keep them calm, to maintain order. Hammond glares at Templeton. It's Shaw's job to get down to the boiler room now. We already wasted enough time looking for the bastard hunt. If you storm down to that room, all you'll be doing is inciting a panic. We need to calm the fears of the crew, maintain an air of focus. Lie to them as the ship goes down? Not at all. Instead, we assure them that we know how to remedy this matter. You. Do you know how to remedy this matter, Mr. Hammond? Aye. And we need to be quick. I don't have time to worry about some stupid sailor's feelings. We've got a bloody ship to save. Well, it's as you said. Officer Shaw is in charge. The decision is yours. Yes, because, okay, if the crew's scared now, like, if we get the ship back from, like, if we save the, the boiler, it's gonna be, they're gonna be relieved. Okay, there's gonna be probably some decorum lost, but that's let's go with Hammond. Hammond's right, we can't waste any more time, the boiler won't wait for us. Fine, I'll keep the crew at bay then. Come on, don't worry about him, let's go. Shit. C minus 15 decorum. As more of the crew notices you and Hammond descending below, the whispers begin. Soon the crew pick up the pace, walking directionless with hurried footsteps. No, I don't speak to him. Boiler trouble, I take it? I'll lend a hand. Now when you're walking with that cane, you're not. I have enough strength to... Go tell the crew to hit the lower decks, as many as possible. Let's go, Shaw. Time to save this blasted ship. Yes, time to save it. You descend the ladder. Ahead, you see the brothers trying to open the door to the hold. What? Where are you two heading? Boiler? Can you help us? The metal door unsticks. Grimly looks to you before darting off into the dark. Where's that bloody idiot running off to? To sound the alarm? Bloody hells. Let's get moving. You enter the boiler room. As you enter, Hammond's engineering team are hard at work. The larger of the two engineers loses grip of their valve and steam begins to shoot out, causing Hammond to dash forward. Watch it! Hammond tackles the engineer to the ground, saving him from a nasty steam burn. Made it just in time. What's the word, Chief? Keep those valves pumping. We need to avoid a water hammer. Or we won't be making it off the ship. Shaw! The rest of the crew aren't here. Grab a valve and start turning. Okay. You grab a valve and begin turning, trying all you can to keep the water at bay. Pump! You feel the ache of your muscles as you continue to push the valve, keeping the pressure at bay. The furnace rumbles and sputters, hemorrhaging fuel. Oh no! You keep turning, doing the best you can to keep the pressure at bay. We could be at this for hours. Shit, where's the rest of the crew? Okay. Can I assign them? Oh no, they're coming. They're coming, okay. Come on, we need everyone. Come on, come on, come on, more of you. Let's go. Everyone. Everyone turn valves, I don't know. Brought help? The furnace rumbles and sputters. Get me coal and turn those valves. Okay. Feed, okay. Wait, we don't have, sorry. Sorry. Let's, okay, we need people, right? Okay, confirm your orders. Wait. Wait, what? Okay, 2 John. What? Why can't I, wait, wait, let's get the coal first. Okay. Let's go back. Feed. Okay. Now this one. Okay. Come on, why can't I put John? Is he not here? Okay, he's there, okay. Okay. valve. Let's go for lefty. They grab the valve with enough hand working the boiler. You begin to fight back the potential water hammer. Someone's going to have to hold the furnace in place. Okay, let's go for, I don't know, someone who's strong. Let's, oh no. No, you're another, oh, he's deployed. Let's see. Engineers. Let's go for, not Tucker, this guy. Okay. They approach the furnace. The room shakes. Water hammer! Shit. A jet of steam paint. June? What? It subsides as they writhe in agony. You keep up the work, shifting valves until the boiler are fully calmed. Shit, we lost one. As the crew gives assistance to the wounded June, you feel your muscles tense. You fall back, collapsing for exhaustion. As you lay back, all you can hear are the pair of panicked voices. Fuck. Okay. Let's lose some of the quorum, and I guess normal for... Okay. Confirm. Oh, I can't? Okay, confirm rations. Oh, that's not good. Week 4. Saved from sinking. The aura passes, leaving only the bright light and white. Okay, okay, maybe I should just... This has been so long. It's crazy. Week 4. You're alone in the captain's cabin. Out across the deck, you can hear the commotion of the crew. Word has spread quickly that Captain Hunt is missing. Templeton slips in through the door. Shaw? What is it, Templeton? Rufus Hunt is missing. Hunt is still missing, and he isn't alone in that regard. What? Sanders, Sparrow, and Gren are also unaccounted for. As is the sizable food and fuel supply, and one of the largest lifeboats. Shaw, you and I are not naive. It seems quite clear what has happened. How's the rest of the crew? They're confused, scared. The former captain is no longer with us. You understand what that means, Shaw. That would be Captain Shaw now, I take it. Not quite yet. A new captain must be selected by the crew. As first mate, you have the most clear argument to take the role. And how do I argue for that role? Your presence in the face of Hunt's absence is an argument in itself. They will hold a vote as soon as possible. That carpenter, Grimley, he's still loyal to Hunt, and many of the sailors will follow his vote, if not all. Though I can assure you have the vote of myself and the scientists. Kurt and his crew are likely to support you as well. I'm unsure where the engineers will side. They're likely loyal to their pay. Jim is still recovering from their steam burns, which may end up working in our favor. And the civilians are a mystery. But I believe when all this is said and done, you will just about make the vote. How can we be sure? I cannot, but it is a measured risk. They're waiting outside, Shaw. They're scared. They don't know where to turn. You and I both understand the importance of maintaining the quorum. Though times seem dire, remember, there's a rescue ship on its way. Even if the Temperance fails, we still have a potential escape. 42 weeks. The ship will arrive at Viscount Island in 42 weeks. We should focus on surviving that long. That is all we need to do, Captain. I understand. We can hold out for that long. Indeed, that is all we need. 42 weeks, Captain. Keep it in mind. Here, you should have this. Templeton presents you with a fancy-looking hat. Hunt's hat. He left it behind in his cabin. That tells you what we need, doesn't it? I won't be needing that. Very well. The commotion outside grows. I choose to willfully observe reality. I suggest you do the same, Captain. The scientist refrains for a moment. I think it's best we declare that the captain and the missing crew are dead. There's no need for us to complicate things any further. I won't lie to them, Templeton. Leaders lie. Get used to it. The crew are waiting for you on the deck. Alright. Hunt's ledger is gone. Well, I guess this is it. Address the crew. The hushed voices become more distinct as you make your way back into the open air. I like the crew picture. You notice the absence of June. Yeah, because he's been burned. The crew members notice you and stop. Their attention ripples across the deck. Attention! It should be clear by now that Captain Hunt is no longer serving his post. As such, we should vote in the new captain. I nominate Officer Shaw for the role, the clear choice as first mate. And what of Hunt? I do not see him among us, do you? Don't see a body either. He's still out there. We don't know what happened. Something we can discover. For now, someone has to take the reins of command. All in favor of Officer Shaw? Start the voting process. Okay. Well, he's the team bird, so he's not gonna vote. Okay, we got 4 votes so far. Him, because we helped him. Loyal to you, nice. Him should be with me, right? Nice. Come on. Fuck. Damn it. Come on, dude, I helped you. You son of a bitch! Why are you abstaining? What? Why? Wow, that was very close. I can't believe the engineer abstained. I helped him, like, I listened to Hammond right away. Jesus Christ. You've been confirmed as the captain of the expedition. Well, the ayes have it. Shaw shall be acting captain from this point forward. Acting in Captain Hunt's stead. The crowd looks to you expectantly as Templeton gives you a knowing nod. A moment passes in the cold as they wait for your next words, curious murmurings scattering between the crew. Captain Hunt is no longer with us. As they look to you, it's not long before the obvious question spills from a crew member's mouth. Where's Captain Hunt? Captain Hunt abandoned us. You notice Templeton's eye widen. Whispers begin to roll throughout the crew. If anyone knows anything, come forward. A silence hangs in the air. I know you're all scared. You'd be a fool not to be. The crowd begins to bubble up once more, with more and more questions coming to the surface. Members of the crew start speaking out one by one, with questions thrown your way in quick succession. How are we supposed to survive out here? Is help coming? What about our pay? Will we still get paid? Our immediate priority is to prepare ourselves for land navigation. This ship is an unreliable place to remain. As for reports, I would like to, the head of each station to report to me going forward. I know this isn't what we signed up for. Stick with me and I will see us through. What are those lost, Captain? Well, a memorial service will be held once we make land. Understood. Well, you heard the captain. Get to it. The crowd dissipates, returning to the roles aboard the ship. You pass Templeton. He glares at you. I told you I won't lie to them. If you can't be honest with each other, what chance do we have? I hope you're right. And with that, everyone, I'm gonna stop, because it's been an hour and 40 minutes. This is a huge undertaking. I'm guessing right now we're gonna have to, you know, yeah, take reports and manage the crew. Maybe send out, you know, people with the dogs to find resources. But that's just, you know, it's too long. I've already been like an hour and 40 minutes. You know what? Okay, let's take just the request. Let's just do the requests really quick. Okay, let's do the request really quick and see how it goes. You saw the duties of the captain first hand while serving Hunt. You're acting captain now. It's time you take up that mantle. A line is already forming at the door. No surprise given the circumstance. Let's see how many. Okay, so there's 3. Let's take all 3. Let's take all 3 and then finish up. Okay. The Pale Beyond. Jesus Christ. It's a long demo. I like it. I should have done a live stream, I guess. Captain, I brought the Kennel Master with me. There's something you both will want to hear. I have a strong suspicion on what this matter is. I was planning to speak with the captain on it myself. Fortunate happenstance then. Captain, I know these conditions well. I've seen them before. Any idea of the Temperance being freed of the ice anytime soon is a pipe dream. We need to press on. We need to become aware of our new environment. Trust me, Captain. We'll be living off it for quite some time. And what of you, Cordell? Do you agree? Indeed. The dog sleds will need to be exercised regularly, and there is no better way than to engage in hunting. We're quite lucky despite the circumstances. Now is the peak time for hunting and navigation. And navigation? Traversing the ice can be a possibility in the future. We need to prepare for that. If we're to survive out here, we need to know what lies ahead. These are uncharted territories, Captain. We have no idea where we are. Our current rations are not set to last forever either. Send any hunting party to me as you please. My dogs and I will ensure their survival. Cordell exits. Same sentiment for myself and any scouting teams. If you wish the great unknowns to be braved and charted, I'm your man. We need to know what lies ahead. Keep looking forward. Alright. Shaw? Junior? The eyes looks unbudging, doesn't it? It would seem that way, yes. Crew seems to think so. They think if we don't intervene, the Temperance will never get freed. If you're suggesting breaking the ice, I can assure you that won't work. I'm not. They are. No intervention is going to break up the ice enough to free the ship. Putting others to work on that is simply a waste of manpower. Aye, maybe. They're scared though, worried. They just want to feel like they've tried something. Okay, we have 15 crew members available. If we send, let's say, 3 on hunt, 3 to hunt, 3 to scout, 3 to three to try to break the ice, and you know, boost morale. That's still something, you know. Okay, if it will raise the spirits, it's worth the attempt. And I'm gonna go for so specialists. I mean, okay, they're all deployed. Plus 15. Wait. These are all deployed. Who can we have? I mean, the scientists wouldn't be good, I guess, for breaking the ice, or the engineers. So the scouts I can send for other stuff. So let's send loyal to Junior. Okay, him, and Tucker, because he's a freaking he's a drunk. If it will raise spirits, it's worth the attempt. Agreed. I'll see you for dinner, Captain. Don't forget the hush pot needs fed. Right. Okay, Hammond. Saving that boiler was only the start of our troubles. Have you seen the state of this bloody ship? It has certainly seen better days. We need to stockpile as much fuel as we can. If the furnace runs out by the end of the week, we die. If we spend too long on the ship, we die. Great. If we don't stockpile enough fuel for the winter, we die. Aye. Get me some coal. Get in the furnace. Get in the furnace. I'm afraid he's not wrong. The coal bunker is our only source of fuel for the time being. Until we can procure alternatives, we should assign crew to shoveling whatever possible. Alright. Well, Before dinner, you should see to sending out our first sledding team. I also believe it's time you gave our good doctor a visit. We'll still have wounded from the night of the Aurora. Their wounds will need to be attended to before they're fit to work. And I doubt I need to remind you of this, but we need every hand available. Don't be afraid of assigning my teams for some manual labor. They'll complain, but they'll work. Great, you know what? I'm not gonna send anyone else, you know. Hopefully, actually, you know what? Let's send the dogs at least. Let's maybe send the dogs. Where the dog? Where the dogs? Where the dogs? Where the dogs at? The dogs, right here. Alright, pet the dog, pet the dog. No? What? You know what? Pet the dog and listen. I can't believe Hunt is gone. What happened? Who knows? He was drunk. Whatever he was thinking, he definitely wasn't in the right mind. And what about Smurf and Corvid and Joe? Who knows? Corvid owes me 5 kills. I don't think you'll be seeing it soon. Great. How do I... Okay. It offers you its paw. Wait, so how do I send... Okay. Okay, so I can't talk to her to send... Maybe I need to see... Yeah, maybe I need to see the doctor first, okay. Oh, he's the doctor! You enter the ship's infirmary. Your presence seems to startle the young man inside, the rattle of dropped forces ringing through the room. Oh, goodness, it's you. Captain now, isn't it? Captain Robin Shaw, it's good to meet you. Dr. Arthur Nutley. Dr. Nutley. Dr. Arthur Nutley. That's it. It's good to meet you, Arthur. Nutley gives a weak smile. Thank you. It is good to properly meet you. I suppose I seem a little scatterbrained at the moment. It's not the norm. Recent circumstances have been trying. And the inclinations towards seasickness is no help. June, the steam burns they suffer from the furnace are severe. If you let me take a look, I can do my best to alleviate the pain. Is there nothing more we can do? I wish there was, but there's no cure for these kinds of injuries. I'm afraid this is the extent. At this point, all we can do is wait. Nutley lets out a nervous cough. Captain Hunt, do you think he might still be out there? Did you know Hunt well? Not at all. Rather, he knew my... Well, that's not important. Apologies, I'm rambling. I suppose you wanted an update on the crew. A report would be nice. Have you had time to look at them? Time enough. Mostly scrapes and scuffs. As for the dogs, you're better asking, well, the kennel master. You mean Cordell? Yes, Cordell. I haven't taken well to the dogs. I'm unsure how to carry myself amidst most people, and animals are more quick to judge. And Cordell herself is harsher still, but you can rely on me for any human medical issues. Nutley pauses for a moment. Is everything good? I mean, is someone coming to rescue us? I won't lie, we're in a difficult situation here. I'm going to need your help. Then you can count on my help. Nutley keeps his head low. I can take a look at the injured now. Okay. Med bay. Let's send some of the scientists, right? Because they're. Let's send this one, Andre Isaac. Oh no, I can't. Oh, it's just the doctor that I can send, right? He's a specialist, all right? Wait. Medway. Why can't I send Medway? Wait, why can't I? Huh. Okay. Why can't I send him though? That's odd. That's very odd, isn't it? Let's try to send the dogs. We still can't. You know what? If you can't send the dogs, then you know what? We're just gonna end it here. It's been an hour and 49 minutes, so long ass time. So yeah, everyone, that was the Pale Beyond, the first long look at the Pale Beyond, and of course you can get an idea of what the game implies from now on. You're gonna have to manage the crew. You're gonna have to send them out. You're gonna have to find resources. Well, food, definitely food. Maybe some coal later on. You have to you know look around to see what's going on and find your way around this whole area. I guess you can maybe scout east. Okay, we can scout stuff. That would be good. Let's send you. Okay, so we can scout. I don't know if we can hunt though. The situation is marked for the sledding team. Okay. Viscount Island. Okay. I don't know if we can hunt. No. Oh, we can scout in multiple areas. That's interesting. That is actually very interesting. 7 available dogs. Okay. So I guess that was it for now. Well, I guess I could also hunt, right? Orca Island. Oh, that's where I could. We picked up. Oh no, never mind. That's not it. So I can't hunt. I can only scout. Maybe I need to scout first, and then I'll be able to hunt. Maybe that's the problem. Like maybe that's the thing. Like you need to figure out your surroundings, and after that be able to go out. But yeah, that was everyone. That was the Pale Beyond. If you like this very long video, then please give it a thumbs up. If you like what I do here, subscribe, check out the back catalog, check out YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, because I'm on all those platforms and I cover a ton of cool games that you can find. And after that, please take just half a minute to see the ways through which you can support me so I can continue doing gaming coverage and more for a very long time. Just join locals, cryptichybrid.com. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And until the next time we see each other, don't trust the captain if he's drunk, and have an awesome day.